let's come to the floor. And we're going to take a seat, soles of the feet together, knees opened out to the side. So if you struggle to sit up tall in this position, just sit onto a cushion or a block or something. And we'll just let our body relax forwards. So there's no need to have your feet super close to you or really far away. You're just finding that good position for you and your body. And feel free to adjust that. If anything feels really uncomfortable, then do adjust your position. Let the back of your head relax. And just take a deep breath in through your nose. So draw a nice lot of air in to fill up your lungs. Hold that breath for a couple of seconds, then open your mouth. Let the air out. Maybe with an audible sigh, just to release some tension. And we'll do that a couple more times. So a deep breath in through your nose, fill your lungs up as much as you can. And then audible sigh out. Good. Bring yourself up to seated. We'll leave the leg, I'll try again, reset. Leave your left leg where it is and extend your right leg forwards. So again, sitting up really nice and tall. This time, instead of just relaxing forwards, I want you to reach your face towards your toes. So instead of relaxing down and the head bowing towards your knee, think length. If your hands reach your foot, you can take a hold of your foot, or you can relax your hands down to the floor. If you're a little bit more lifted up here, maybe your hands go onto your leg or either side. And your foot can just be relaxed. You don't need to point it or flex it particularly. And as you are in whatever your full position is here, I want you to pull your thigh up. So your kneecap lifts and you straighten your knee. So you're really engaging the front quadricep muscles in your thigh, so the front of the thigh. And so we were trying to push the leg actively down into the floor. So really contracting your quadriceps. Take that deep breath in through your nose. And then as you exhale, release that contraction. Maybe your body or your torso moves a little bit lower down towards that leg. And we'll do that one more time. So again, contracting the front of your thigh, your quadricep muscles. Press the leg actively down into the ground. So you've got a bit of tension. You're still reaching your head towards your foot. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, release that tension in the leg. Maybe your torso relaxes a bit further down. Bring yourself up to seated with your torso. Lovely. And now we'll take the left leg across the right. So your foot is flat onto the floor. We're lifted up through the sit bones and draw this knee in towards your chest. See if you can lengthen your torso, wrap your hand around that thigh. And then looking over your left shoulder with your left fingertips down to the ground, you're twisting in your waist. So see if you can let your hip bones stay where they are and press your right foot out in the opposite direction. So you might feel now that your breathing is a little bit restricted. See if you can continue to take deep breaths. One more. Good. And release, returning to face the front. Lovely. Now your left leg lift it up and rotate it inwardly So your knee goes out to the side, 90-degree angles from your hip, and you've got a bend at 90 degree and your foot going behind you there. Lovely. Now you might find that this hip is slightly off the floor. That's okay, so is mine. I'm just gonna, pardon me, rotate towards that leg. And just find a little bit of a lean forwards there from the hips. Whatever feels manageable in your body. Feels really uncomfortable? Come back a little further. Okay? And seeing if you can drop that hip towards the ground a little bit. Breathing through. And bring yourself back up. Let's carefully bring the left leg forward, and we'll open the right knee out to the side. So not too tucked in. Remember before we still had that foot quite far down from our diamond shape, and we're hinging forwards at the hips, just with a relaxed leg at the beginning, but reaching your face towards your toes. Hands wherever feels appropriate for you. So contracting the front of that thigh or your quadricep muscles, pressing the left leg down into the ground, just holding your torso where it is, still reaching the head forwards. The kneecap is lifted, a bit of energy, a bit of tension there in the front of that leg. Take a deep breath in through your nose. As you exhale, release the tension in your leg. Maybe you go a little further, maybe you don't. It's okay. And again, contracting that thigh, reaching the crown of the head forwards. Nice long spine. Try and relax your shoulders. Just the tension in the front of that leg and pressing it down into the ground. Deep breath in, exhale, release it all. Just holding there. Bringing your torso up, creep your hands in. And we're crossing the right leg over the left. Sitting up tall, hug that knee in. Bring your arm around and look over your right shoulder, fingertips to the floor. See if you can anchor that right hip down, so don't allow your hips to twist, and twist in your waist instead. Your head looking back over your shoulder. Seeing if you can maintain the depth of breath. Two more breaths here. And release. Gently uncross the right leg. Rotating the leg internally, knee goes out to the side of your hip. 90-degree angle at the knee. Seeing if we can drop that hip a little more just to what's comfortable for you. And then hands down, maybe folding forwards, just as much as your body allows you to do in that position. Now you might find, like me, that this side is a little bit easier than the other. Or maybe you find the opposite, that this side feels more restricted. That's normal. Just as we become aware of those kinds of things, we know which side we need to work on a little bit more in terms of specific flexibility or strength. And when we're stretching, just keep in mind there shouldn't be any sharp pains or real discomfort. You should just feel a stretch sensation. So if anything doesn't feel quite right, then move yourself gently out of that position. So let's come back up. Carefully bring the leg back around. Good. And we'll come to lying down on our backs. So make sure you've got space. And just take a little rock from side to side, or circle your knees around, whatever feels good for you. And we'll open the knees out to the side. Hold on to your ankles with your hands. Bring your feet together. So you're pulling your ankles towards you and pressing your knees away from you. Soles of the feet touching. So there's a bit of tension here. And then release your feet from each other and open them out to the sides. So we want the legs in line with our hips, nice straight legs. You can use your arms if you want to add a little bit of pressure on the inner thighs. Maybe they're reaching to your feet, or maybe your hands are down to the floor or in another comfortable position. That's completely up to you. Lower back is pressing into the ground. So draw your abdominals in, push the lower back down, connect the rib cage down to the hips, and slowly squeeze the legs up towards each other. Good. Pull your right knee into your chest and let your left leg come down to the floor. So really draw the right knee in. Lovely. Keeping your right knee bent into your chest, bend your left knee, place your foot flat onto the floor, and we're going to lift up into a single leg glute bridge. So squeezing into that left foot, contracting your left butt cheek, lift your hips up as much as you can whilst you're pulling your right knee still into your chest. Slowly lower your hips down and extend the left leg out. Bringing your right leg up, take a hold of your right big toe with your index finger and your middle finger. You're going to grab that big toe and take your right leg slightly, your thigh, outside of your torso. So it's like a happy baby but with one leg. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, stretching that leg open. Just to wherever it goes, and don't worry if it doesn't straighten. Now you might find that it makes you want to rock out and lift up your left butt cheek, but try and keep your left hip down. Breathing into it. Bend the knee again. And extend the right leg down to the ground, pulling your left knee into your chest. So we'll do the opposite side now. So drawing that knee in, just adjust, get yourself comfy. You might feel like you're a bit wonky just because you've stretched out that one side quite a lot. Okay, bend your right knee so the right foot's flat onto the ground. Your left knee is still hugging into your chest. Take a breath in as you exhale. Push into your right foot, lifting the hips up. Still trying to squeeze into that right butt cheek, but pull the left knee in. Let your hips lower down and extend the right leg out along the floor. Take the left thigh just outside of your body. It's still hugging in close, and your index finger and middle finger, left hand, go to grab your left big toe. Trying to keep the hips down as you next exhale, straightening out that leg, the left leg, or opening it out just as much as is possible for you today. So don't worry if it doesn't completely straighten. Really try and anchor your right butt cheek down. breathing through it, relaxing your shoulders down, still trying to maintain contact with the lower back and the ground. And bend that knee in gently. Bring the right leg up to join, and right index finger and middle finger go for your right big toe. And now we'll open both legs into that happy baby. So we've got about a 90-degree angle at the knees. They're hugging in towards your armpits. Try and relax your upper back and your shoulders. Take a breath in as you exhale, extending those legs out. Maybe they straighten, maybe they don't. Maybe you let go with your fingers to straighten them. Whatever feels good for you. Do what works. And release your hands, bend your knees, soles of the feet coming down towards each other. Now, if you're like me, as you bring your feet down, you might find that your lower back arches away from the ground. If that's the case, lift and tuck your tailbone under. Then let your hips drop back down to the ground again. So again here, pressing the soles of the feet together. Finding a little bit of a tuck with the pelvis, drawing your lower back towards the ground, seeing if you can let your hips relax, open. And open your arms out to the side. So they're about shoulder height, palms facing up. Fold your knees up into the air, feet are flat on the floor so your thighs come together. And then let your knees drop over to the right side. Lovely. So we want to keep the shoulders down and the arms down and the hips as stacked as possible. So with the top leg, try and press it over a little bit further. Whilst you're keeping your shoulder down. So left shoulder down. Left knee pressing diagonally away from that shoulder. And now draw the left knee into your chest. So lifting it up towards your chest, and then extend your left foot towards your right hand. Maybe you catch the left foot with the right hand. Maybe you don't. Just breathe here, we're just holding this. If it starts to feel too much, maybe bend the left knee and just let the knee drop down towards the ground. On your next exhale, bend the left knee in, stack your knees and feet again and lift up to the center and drop over to the other side. So knees going over to the left, shoulders relaxed down to the ground. Think about that right knee pressing diagonally away from your right shoulder, which stays in contact with the floor. Nice deep breaths. Breathing here. Draw your right knee into your chest and then extending it away towards your left hand. Maybe your left hand takes a hold of the foot, maybe it doesn't. And if your body starts to tremor or shake, like you're pushing it a little bit too far, it's a good idea to move out of the stretch a little bit. So just release a bit of that tension. So you're not pushing yourself beyond what your body is happy to do today. Still seeing if we can deepen the breaths even though we're in a twist and it feels uncomfortable. Release the foot, bending your knee in. And bring yourself back over onto your back. Hugging your knees to your chest. Just bring your head up towards your knees for a moment. And then give yourself a little rock up to seated. Lovely. Okay, so we'll come onto hands and knees. And we'll have one knee down. So if you do have quite a thin mat underneath you might want to roll it like this just for a bit of cushioning under your knee, or grab a mat. We'll step forwards with the right leg. So right knee is above your right ankle and your left knee is down onto the floor. We're just letting the hips drop forwards. So get comfortable with your arms. You might find that it's uncomfortable having your weight on your wrists like that. If so, make a fist, ensuring that your wrists are straight. And just breathing through, trying to let your hips just drop forwards. Back of the neck is long. If this feels really quite okay for you and you would like to deepen the stretch, just step your hands a little bit further forwards and bring your forearms down. You might find that your left elbow goes down easily and your right doesn't go down so much. That's fine. You can have it like this. You can get something underneath it just to give you something to push down to. Keep hugging your right knee in for now. And now we're going to rotate the right foot about 45 degrees open. And that makes the knee point out with it. So it's moved away from your torso now. Maybe you're up here with your hands underneath you. Maybe you're down with one arm or both. Wherever you are, put your weight onto your left arm or hand and use your right hand to press the inside of that right knee open. So you can be on your elbow, you can be on your hand, whatever feels the best for you. Nice. Breathing through that, guys. Now, if you feel like you've got a little bit of tension coming into your left hip, take a breath out, let it go, and release the hand back down. Gently come back, turning that leg, ooh, and step it back. Well done. Just do that gently. It can feel a bit weird when you're moving out of it. And then we'll step the left foot forward. So we're going to do the same thing. Knee above ankle directly, hugging the knee in towards the side of your body to begin with. And just focusing on letting the hips go. So using your breath in through your nose, just like we did before. Out through the mouth to release. Sometimes when the static holds start to feel a bit too much for me, I like to just do a little gentle rock. Makes it feel a little bit less intense. Remembering if you want to, you can come down to one or both elbows if that feels appropriate for you today. And you might find again that one side it's okay and the other side it feels too much. So we'll rotate the left leg this time 45 degrees with the foot and the knee. And then wherever you are, you might want to move the right hand or arm open a little bit more and use your left hand to press that knee back. Just taking some deep breaths. Sinking into it. Again, if you feel that a bit of tension creeps into your right hip, just tell it with your mind, relax. Use your exhale. Release that hand down. Come back gently the way you came. Pressing your weight back. And then we're going to come forwards onto our belly. Just bring your hands out to the side, elbows down. And we'll gently lengthen up. So here, if you want to, you can keep your elbows down underneath your shoulders. You can come to straight arms. The closer you creep your hands towards yourself, the more intense it will be for your back. Keeping your shoulders open, your collarbones wide. Seeing if we can press the pubic bone down towards the ground so you're tilting that pelvis. Using your lower abdominals to lift up. Take a breath in. As you exhale, slowly come down to the ground. Bring your left hand under your forehead, your right heel to your butt, holding on to that foot with your right hand. And rest the forehead down. Finding a stretch into your quadricep muscles. And release, switch to the other side. Pubic bone pushing down. So thinking about the center of your body, your pubic bone pressing down and the kneecap maybe floating off the ground slightly rather than the kneecap being down and the hips lifting up. Drawing a foot in towards your butt. And release the leg down. Bring your hands one on top of the other underneath your forehead and just let your hips rock gently from side to side. And then turning your head to one side. Eyes closed. Just allowing your body to melt down into the ground. Let's take a couple of sighing out breaths. So deep breath in, fill your lungs. Open your mouth. Exhale. So if you're doing a big sigh, 2 more times. Last one. Just feeling your body heavy on the ground. Completely relaxed. If possible for you, just breathe in and out through your nose. Just small breaths. Only what you need. Noticing which parts of your body are in contact with the floor, and which parts of your body don't touch the floor. Notice the space between those parts and the ground. Simply being aware, not passing judgment, not wishing anything was different. So as you feel ready, just start to bring a little bit of movement back to your body, however you'd like to do that. Maybe reaching out, stretching your arms away, maybe rolling to the side, or curling to a ball. And as you feel ready, bringing yourself back to a seated position.